Good day, everybody. This is Sebastian with another Watch Your Roams video. In this one, we're going to be discussing some of the changes that just occurred here in the Forerunners server. It's been about a day for some of them, and one dungeon just opened up, so we'll give you a brief preview for that. But the one thing first that I want to emphasize is that they're changing where the buttons are located. So that's just a cosmetic look. And you see now that we have a tab here for the Demon Soldiers right up front. And alongside here on the left-hand side, they removed some of the buttons and they moved them to this side here. So if you're wondering where the gallery and your storage were moved, they're over here. So you can kind of keep an eye on this. And now you have easier access to the event tab here as well. So that's just the cosmetic part of it. Let me also now talk about the new feature here, now that they called it the quick change. So here used to be swap gear right here on the bottom of the screen, right by my right arm here. So how they changed it actually is that now they introduced an additional tab on top of what we already know as having gear subs, which is right here. Now we have what we would call gear plans. And so right now I just have a blank slate because I did not want to, I just wanted to kind of give you a brief idea of how this thing is working. So let's say for Vier and I have this plan here, and I want to make sure that I keep it for the future. So I'm just going to say Vierna 1 is one of the plans here. But let's say for some reason that I want to come in here and change the ring. And for argument, I'm just going to say, okay, I want a crit damage ring. So I'm going to say that, try on, and then I'm going to look at my stats. And if I like where I am, I can then click Save Plan again. And now I can do Vierna, let's see, Vierna 2. And now I can save it. And now here show me which one is equipped, but at the same time, now we have the option to then swap out to this one if indeed that's what my wish is. So I do like this feature now because when we come in here, we don't actually have to make the little swap. It actually just puts it on top of what you have so far, and it tells you how much of a change you're going to get if you do decide to go with that piece, and then you can make the decision. You want to lose crit rate for attack, or you want to get some rage regen in the sacrificial attack speed, things like that. And then if you like it, you save the setting. So this is going to be really handy for two particular areas that I can think of, at least for my account. It would be GVG setups and arena setups. In addition to having the nice feature added on, good job, Muntan, in that regard. There's still some things that we need to work on, but in that regard, you did a good job. Now, what they have added to the event tab is now what they're calling the Demon Crusade. So here is where we're going to get two types of challenges. It's going to be the main stage, and it's going to be a challenge stage. So in the main stage, you're just going to go through, and essentially what you're doing is that you are practicing. You are practicing GVG in a sense. There are some of these stages where you had to use the demons that they provided you, and then you had to come up with the strategy how to beat it. And then there was another stage here where you get to use your own demon roster. So once you clear all of this, you're going to come to this big tower here. I'm sorry if I blocked it. Let me put myself away for a minute. You see this big tower here at the end? This one scales. So right now, I did normal, elite, now I'm on a hard, but I only get to do one attempt a day. So essentially, I will unlock hard, and then I will go on to nightmare. So that is where we are on that one. And as you can see here, it's grayed out because I already did my fight for the day. So we'll move on to hard the next time that we get to try this. The second part of this is the challenge stage. So we're going to have six particular challenges, and we're going to have to 3-star each one of them to get all the stars completed and get the challenge done. Now, I already did the first one here, and I got all the 3 stars, and so you can see some of the conditions here. So I had to use no more than 4 demon soldiers, and I could not use the defenders. So they give you little conditions like that that you're going to then have to figure out how to then beat and get to the core. For example, in this one here, it says no more than 4 different demon soldiers, and then it says no more than 3. So I'm taking, as long as you only have 3, you should be fine in meeting all this condition. So if you can beat it with 4, you get 2 stars. If you can beat it with 3, you get 3 stars. And some of the you're gonna see some of the damage, the boons that the enemies get, and then you're gonna see some type of deficiency against you. So for this one, they gain a 2 block, and for us, we could lose 40 defense. So in this one here, we lost magic resistance and they gained HP. So it's a little bit harder to take them down. And then as you go on, you then will unlock each one of these features. Now, one of the things that I wanted to just briefly emphasize here, let me go into fighting. So this is kind of the setup that you're going to be looking for. There are going to be 2 different avenues that you're going to have to go through to try to get to the core, and you have multiple enemies to get through. So one of the things that we had to figure out here, and I don't really, this part here, I really think is a one-off, so I don't really want to spoil it for you in how it was beaten. I mean, there might be different strategies, but I think the fun of this is going to be you trying to figure out how to beat these stages. So right now, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not too particular, just kind of give you an idea of how things are set up. So the first thing, it was trying to figure out how do we take advantage of these powder kegs here. And if we can get them to blow up, you see their range and which enemies would come down. So essentially what came down being, okay, so I know the core is here. So I have my units down here. These are the only ones that I can use. Again, I'm going to take myself off the screen again, just so you can get an idea of the units that you were going to be able to use. And so essentially is which units you're going to release to get this powder keg, and then how you're going to get to this one with the layout that is set up here. So that's kind of the strategies that you're going to have to try to figure out when you come and try to tackle this content. With the Demon Crusade, of course, we got the introduction of 3 new soldiers that we're going to be able to get if we do complete most of the challenge stages. And you saw there in the beginning, we're going to have to unlock the towers, getting to Nightmare to get some of the fragments here. So right now, I only have 1 for this particular hero, and I have 0 for the other ones. But you can see here we have this Demon Seller, the Fool, and he is going to be one of the protectors, I guess, and you can kind of see his stats, and his cost is only 5. Yeah, so that's what I saw there. Energy is 5. He'll actually be one of these heroes that will be giving shields, so kind of protecting some of your units, but at least in the first gameplay that I've had, when they give us the opportunity to try these 3 out, they seem a little bit squishy, but then at the same time, I think that we were going against magic heroes, so their magic resistance is really low. Here we have this warrior, the scaling warrior. He has 4 energy cost. You can kind of see his stats here let me take myself off screen again. You can kind of see the stats here for him. Let me go back here for this one, just in case you were curious about the stats, in case I blocked them with my head. So you can kind of already get a sense of how some of them are a little bit tankier than the other. Here's another one. This one's only 13,000. This one here will speed up the movement of whatever units are around him. And then you see that he also has a 4-unit cost. So yeah, he has a high magic resistance as well. His speed is very slow, but he'll speed up the rest of your contingent. So yeah, so look forward to getting possibly 3 new soldiers added to your account. Finally, folks, we kind of now got an idea of what is going on with Gear Dungeon and what they were emphasizing and saying that there were going to be different variants of it. So by the images here, it looks like it's Volca, and one of them is Volca reskinned. In this one here, if let me go check again because I keep forgetting how they name her here. So in this one here is the Insatiable Blood Mistress, and we know what she does, right? She actually provides healing to the enemies on the field, or gives them a passive that when they're attacking, they gain. And on this one here, this one is being referred to as the Blood Mistress, and the Frenzied Blood Mistress, excuse me. So you can kind of see her stats here. But one of the things that I gather from her is that as you start killing units in the battlefield, she gains attack. So she's going to hit a little bit harder. And this is going to definitely be an interesting way to try to combat her. But at the same time, she actually throws out these mirror images at us, and we're going to have to counter that. So one of the things here with stage 3 that I was trying to battle with, and I'm going to show you, because this is 1 and 2 were very easy to figure out because there aren't as many buffs to contend with. But on this one here, this is going to be really, really difficult. And I'm gonna kind of give you a glimpse of what I mean by this, because if we don't take down this particular mirror image that comes off here from the side, we are going to have problems. So this guy here splits, and I hate that. Very tanky units. I do have to say, this eventually, as you climb up the stages, these particular units have magic immunity. So it's a whole different roster that we're going to have to contend with. We are going to need piercers. We're going to need normal hitters to try to get through this content. So as we as we start figuring out what heroes are going to excel on this, we are going to then be able to start forming compositions and looking to see who comes out to be the best in some of this content. So let me see here. Did I not? No, I did not protect her. But I just want to kind of give you an example of what happens if we don't take this unit down. This is going to be the complicated one. So let me do this. So here comes another hit. And then the other thing to keep in that I'm going to say that we need to keep in mind as well is going to be the fact that these little units down here do split. So we're going to need Bastion rings. Don't let that. And then we're going to need some type of backup for some of the tanks if they get overwhelmed. So right now there should be like a little counter. You'll see what I mean. So I'm trying not to kill her, but you'll see what happens if we don't. So here we go. Let's try this. And it should happen right now. So yeah, so then she dies and she blows everybody up. So there's going to have to be a way to figure out how to get her down before she even gets close to us. Because if she dies, she'll just take part of the map with her as well. Let me go up to stage 6 because 4, 5, and 6 have similar similar type of buffs or monster core mechanics. I think by 5 is when they start gaining magic damage immunity. So again, this is all going to be pure. Now, this is what the game is suggesting, the heroes that are going to be great for this content. Eventually, I think that there are going to be some people that are going to figure out that this may not be really applicable at all. Then there might be other heroes that do the job just as well. So let's look at stage 4 here. Has probably not tallied enough data to do popular heroes. But here, you can kind of get an idea of which heroes are going to be the ones that are going to excel in this content. So long range units, yes, are going to come into play with this. Valkyrie here shows up in stage 4, but I imagine that after she got to stage 5, she dropped off. So there have been some people here on Forerunners Server that have completed this, and then you can see the roster that they've been using, and there's a lot of chaotic stuff. Not not great for the game if that's what they're relying on, but you can see that you can do it with other heroes that you can normally get from the rare crystal pool. So not a big deal there. So people are figuring it out here. Have people cleared stage 6? It says collecting data. So I'm wondering if it is refreshing. I'm using an emulator, so sometimes it takes a little while to get things going, but no, it looks like nobody has had the opportunity to do 6 yet. Okay, so people are stuck on 5 right now. So there's still some stuff that they need to work on. Okay, that's fine. So let me just give you a brief idea of what we're going to. So this is what I was telling you, that the Sycophants are now splitting. And they split every 30 seconds, so we need to take them down quick. You just can't let them hang around, because you start with 4, you don't kill them, now you have 8, things are going to get by you. So, and in some of the setups, it looks like you only have the opportunity to use 2 tanks. So this is going to be, here's the one, the Tormented Banshee. If we don't bring her down, she'll just take the map, man. That's just an immense amount of damage. So we're going to have to figure out a way to see how we can survive this. And again, I was telling you, magic damage, immunity, they're not going to take too much. And of course, CC effects, they're immune to them. We can't stun them. We cannot freeze them. So we can knock them back if they're recommending Edith. But you can definitely not, you cannot CC them at all. You cannot, maybe you can slow them down. I have not tried that. But aside from that, it looks like it's just going to be long range, trying to take things out before they even get to us. Here in this account, I don't have Hatsuit, but I can see her benefit on here, because you can activate her AoE, her ultimate, when everything is coming at you, and just try to take things down quickly there. So that's the preview so far on Gear Dungeon number 2. So they did give us a different variant. So finally, that kind of was cleared up, and whether there's a third one coming in the future, we do not know. But we do have now 2 different gear dungeons. One where magic heroes and anti-healing heroes can do a great job, and the other one is going to be piercers and fighters that are going to take the opportunity, their time, to try to help us get some of these new sets that we can forge from these 2 dungeons. That's a quick rundown of what is going on right now in the Forerunners server, and what you can expect to come to the global server when things are optimized. And you'll have new content to look forward to here in the near future. So thank you very much for tuning in and watching. I will see you all next time in the next Watch Your Realms video. And please remember to hit like and subscribe on your way out.